Namaskar and Namaste, and welcome to your favorite show, Star Darbar. I am pretty excited to say this tonight that tonight we have a very special, spectacular, fantabulous singer, and of course, Ghazal Maestro, Talat Aziz with us. So I would love to welcome him right now. And namaskar, namaste, and welcome to Star Darbar. And how are you doing? Because it's been a long time that you are coming to see us, and we are going to enjoy with your singing and your performance in New Jersey.
Yes, first of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. Namaskar, Sasrikal, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, whenever you hear this. I'm very happy that I'll be coming to New Jersey, as they call it here, New Jersey, New Jersey. मैं बहुत आ चुका हूँ. I've been there quite a few times, but it's been a long gap. The last time I performed in New Jersey was in a long time back, about maybe 10 years or 11 years back. And I'd come with a show where I was paying tribute to my guru. And after that I had come twice, but New Jersey wasn't. Yeah, I was there in 2015 at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center with Asha ji and me. We did, but that was mostly Bollywood songs with the whole orchestra. Only one of my ghazals, Umrao Jan's, I did on stage. But then I came in 2017. But in that tour, I think New Jersey wasn't included, but because that was for the American Association of Physicians, Indian origin, API, for their chapters to raise funds. So now, actually, this concert on the 19th of November at the Union County Performing Arts Center, if I'm not wrong, in Raagiiniis, is going to be my public concert after almost 10 to 11 years in New Jersey.
We are really excited because we love you. That is the first thing. We love you. We love your voice.
Let me reiterate, if you love me that much, all of you, I love all of you more.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Music and you, it has a relationship from the childhood. And you are from the family where you have seen that how to write and how to make a lyric.
I come from a very normal family from Hyderabad. I was born and raised in a very, regular family. My father was a bureaucrat. My mother was a housewife, but she used to write. She had a flair for writing, not poetry, short stories. But we used to have mehfils at home every Saturday. I'm talking of a long time back, very long time back, when time was still not that fast as it is today. People had so much time. So they used to have mehfils every weekend, and people used to come to our house, and somebody would come and sing, somebody would come and recite. I saw all this growing up. And maybe that's how they discovered that I could sing a bit, and they sort of, gave me a little leeway, and they said, okay, why don't you sing? I started singing as a child. It was, I never thought I never planned that I'll make it a profession, nor did my parents. I went to school, regular school, St. George's, public school. In fact, my school is celebrating 100 years this year. It's a centenary year for Hyderabad Public School. And guess what? Let me fill you in. The notable alumni from my school, some of them are very, very noted people in the world. Like, for instance, Mr. Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, is from my school. Mr. Banga, the head of World Bank, is from my school. There's so many of them. I'm privileged to be in one of the good schools of India, and I did my regular schooling, I did my sports, I was a sportsman, I was a cricketer, but I'd never at that point really gave it a thought that I will become a professional singer. I loved music, I loved ghazals because that's what I was brought up on. I loved my later on, who became my guru, Mehdi Hasan. I used to listen to his recordings over the radio and cassettes. I never got to meet him. I met him in 77, much later, after I finished my college. So I come from a family which appreciated music, art, and culture.
How was you and our favorite ghazal singer, of course, all-time favorite, the golden voice, Mehdi Hasanji? You just took his name. So how was
How did I?
you and him as a guru and shishya?
I'll tell you how I met him. I was a cricketer. I was into cricket sports, and then I gave it up, and I just walked out of the field. And I'm not going to go into that detail because it's going to be a long journey. So I just went back into my music, and I was completely into ghazals. I used to listen to it 24 hours, and I used to listen to Mehdi Saab. I'd never met him. I didn't even have a photograph in those days. Though I'm talking of those days. It's not the internet. Remember, I'm talking of the early 70s. I came to Canada in Toronto to visit my cousins, and I was invited by my cousins, and I was there I was a young kid. And Mehdi Hasan Sahab was visiting there. He had come for a private concert, and he was. So one day, a friend of mine, not a friend, but my family friend, took me in his car, and he said, "Come with me, and I'm going to take you somewhere. Just don't say it's a surprise." I said, "What's a surprise?" He said, "That's a surprise. Come with me." So I sat in his car. We went to some house, and there was a basement, and I saw some people sitting there in the basement, finished basement, as you have it over there. And then I saw Mehdi Sahab first time in the flesh. And he was like, I was zapped. I was wearing a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. I was like, and they said, Khan Sahab, this is Talat Aziz from Hyderabad, and he sings. So he just looked at me and he said, okay, nodded, and then went back to eating his pan. And they said, oh, why don't you sing something for Khan Sahab? I said, no, don't be silly. No, they said, please sing something. So I just sang something with the harmonium which was there, and his tabla player, Mr. Peen Baksh, may God bless him, he was such a nice soul. He didn't say anything. Next day he called me, he said, you know what? You have a good voice, but you're young, you need to train it properly. So why don't you become my shagird? This is probably the first time when he said, I will tie the gandha. You know what a gandha is? The thread. But I said, when? He said, I'm going tomorrow. So when I come, I'm coming to India, this is in 78. This was 77 when I met him in April or May. So I'm coming next year. So when I come, you meet me, and I want to make you my shagird. I said, okay, thank you. And that's it. I left, he went, and I forgot about it. He forgot about it, maybe. And I was a free bird. From there I went to England to visit my grandmother, my aunt. And when you are 20, 21, you don't really think. You just go through life as it is. You take each day at a time. But when I came back in 77 end, I then decided that I should make my career now, and I moved to Mumbai. Then it was Bombay. 77 end, 78 March. I came here, there was a private program. I was singing to a group of very few people, and one of them was Mr. Khayyam. Khayyam Saab, his wife, Mrs. Madan Mohan, I remember that. She was a very nice lady. And Suraya ji, the singer actor from yesteryear.
My goodness.
So, and I sang, and then Khayyam Saab said, Beta, you have a good voice, and when I get a good film, I'm going to call you and give you a chance to sing for a film. I said, okay, sir, thank you. See, that's how life, what I'm trying to say is that life takes different turns. You never know where it's going to land. You're going to land up. At one point, 2 years back, if you had asked me, I would have said I was a cricketer. I was under the national coach. I was into fitness training. I used to run a mile in 5 minutes every morning at 4:30. I had to go to the stadium for practice, 6 hours of physical training, practice, net practice. I used to, bowl to all the cricketing greats in our country, like Nawab Patowdi, ML Jaisim, Abid Ali, the test cricketers. They used to call me, and I was a youngster. I was pretty fast, and at that point, if you had asked me, I would say I'm being trained. I'm under the national coach. But then something happened, and I just walked away from it, and I didn't know what to do. So to just sort of get over that loss, I immersed myself into music. And then who do I meet? And I came to Bombay, and then I was invited to Canada, and I met Mr. Mehdi Hasan, who I had admired and I had hero worshipped, who I'd never met. And I had I've seen only one photograph of his in those days. So there's saying that if you really want something bad enough, the whole universe conspires and gets it for you. So God was kind. And this is what happened. I went to England, I came back here, I shifted to Bombay, I met Khayyam Saab, and then I rented a room and I started my struggle period. I went to Shankar, Jaikishan ji was no more Shankar ji. I went to so many music directors, and they said, yes, we will give you a chance, we'll give you a chance. Nothing happened. And one day I went and sang on Doordarshan because they said they were looking for some new talent. It was black and white television in those days. That program became very popular, Arohi, and people noticed it. And I was noticed by a company called Polydor India, which is now Universal Music. And they signed me up. They said, we want to sign you. You're a talent and blah, blah, blah. And then I went to Mr. Jagjit Singh, who was like an elder brother, because now again I have to go back to 74, 75, when he came to Hyderabad, and I met him, invited him home, and we had a nice chat. I sang for him, and he said, if you want to do something, in music, you have to come to Bombay. That's the only place. So that's how everything sort of, connected. And then when I signed my contract, I called up Mr. Jagjit Singh and I said, Bhai Sahab, I've just signed a contract for a record album. Will you compose that album for me? He said, Acha, kahan baithe ho? Where are you? I said, I'm in the record, in the company office, not far from his house. So he said, come over. So I went to him. He said, okay. I said, this is it. So he said, okay, we'll do it. Let's do it. Now this is 79. Mehdi Saab had come in 78. Then he searched for me. He searched for me. And he said, where are you? He had Birbuks by his tabla player called me. I don't know how he got my number. There were no cell phones in those days. You had the big rotary dial phone.
Yes.
So to cut a long story short, I won't bore your viewers with all this, but he called me, he said, come right now. I want to tie the ganda, because when I tie this ganda, you become part of my family, and I have a duty to teach you what my forefathers have taught me, and it will be your duty to follow my teachings and strive, practice hard, and progress under my supervision. And how will we do that? I don't know, because he lived either. Anyway, to cut a long story short, that's how my musical career started. Jagjit Singh Saab composed this music for my first album. In those days, there was no such thing as publicity or marketing. You just made a record. It was a long play record. It was put in the record shops on the window, and people came in, they saw it, they heard it. If they liked it, they bought it. If they didn't like it, they wouldn't buy it. And that's how I became popular. And then Khayyam Saab called me one day. I don't know how. He said, I've got a film, come and rehearse with me. And I landed with Umrao Jan. So that's how it is.
Such a beautiful musical journey, and we are listening to the Tanpura in the background.
Yes, this is my little studio space, and I've got an app, where I teach. I have a class after this, and I have the tabla and the tabla, everything. It's a very beautiful app. Look at this. Sa pa ni sa ga sa ga ma pa ma ga sa ni pa ma ga ma ni sa.
Wow, beautiful. We always listen to like these songs.
Okay. Wait a minute. Now, since we are talking about this, and I spoke about Umrao Jan, which is the first song of my career, in the sense, in the film business, not the first song of my musical career. I'll just sing a few of the own ek line. Mukhada kehte na? Okay, one second. जिंदगी जब भी तेरी बज़्म में लाती है हमें, ये ज़मीं चांद से बेहतर, ये ज़मीं चांद से बेहतर नजर आती है हमें, जिंदगी जब भी तेरी बज़्म में. It's so ironical that this जगह आपको अभी जो बताया, ये ज़मीं चांद 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 पामागा. Khayyam Saab made me rehearse this 15 days. This much. So I asked him, why are you emphasizing on this little kan? Kan kehte hain usko. So he said, beta, think about this. Where is the moon? I said, in the sky. So he said, how do the moon's rays come from the top to the bottom, right to the earth? Yes. So this is what it is I'm trying to do.
Cool. Okay. All right. That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Talat ji, that you are with us, and it is a great opportunity for all of us to meet you.